Hey guys!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the VoiceIt show, and it feels so good to be back once again. This is the 41st episode, and thank you for everyone joining us. And Anders, I see Paige over there. Hello, guys.
Hi!
Such a bliss that you guys are joining this week as well. So, thank you so much for your love, support for the channel, and if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if I at all point in the right direction. And a special shout out to our patrons. Funky,
Oh
let's
yes,
do
of
this.
course. Special shout out goes to Anders Lindholm, Adam Gorak, Shelly O'Neill, Chris Vickery, and of course, Laurie Sandoval. Thank you guys.
Thanks a lot. And let's go ahead without any further ado. Let's get
Yeah.
started. Funky, you want to introduce our guest?
Of course. So today, we are privileged to have with us the phenomenally talented singer, songwriter, pianist of the award winning band Diamonds and Whiskey from North Carolina, the glorious and gorgeous Miss Jennifer Lauren. Starting in a very young age by playing piano and receiving classical training as a first soprano, she took a flight into the musical universe. The artist within her found its way out through Diamonds and Whiskey. Showcasing brilliant musicianship, a plethora of energy and passion, Diamonds and Whiskey is taking over the world. With their debut album called Heartbreak Queen making a buzz in the universe, the songs Muddy Water and Sugar Stick from the album reached to rank first on the Euro ACM chart, while Wasted on Your Love reviewed as one of the most heart-wrenching singles of the year.
That's right. And in 2019, the band was awarded as the Band of the Year at the Carolina Music Awards. Diamonds and Whiskey has shared the stage with well-respected artists like Brantley Gilbert, Lee Greenwood, Sammy Kershaw, Darius Rucker, Diamond Rio, Lone Star, and more. The Diamonds and Whiskey ship is proudly led by Jennifer Lauren. The band's newest release includes two singles called "Walk Hard" and "Backcountry Voodoo". "Backcountry Voodoo" is the first single of their upcoming album called "Blonde Ambition" and has reached almost 100,000 views on YouTube. "Walk Hard" is the latest release by Diamonds and Whiskey, and as of yesterday, it made it to the top of the Dirt Road FM music charts. And it's our honor to have such a multitudinously talented artist joining us today on the Voice It Show. Please welcome everyone, Jennifer Lauren.
Hi!
There she is.
Welcome!
Thank you so
Welcome to the Voice It
much.
Show.
Wow, that was quite an intro. I appreciate that. I
Thank
was
you.
like,
Thank
wait,
you
we've done
so
all
much.
that?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. First of all, you're in your car. Where are you headed to?
Yes, I'm almost to Charlotte, and then from there headed to Columbia, South Carolina for the state fair today. So we're traveling, and again, I got stuck in traffic. So you guys are getting the inside of my vehicle.
Oh,
Woohoo!
that's okay.
So we are on road with Jennifer. So
Yes, I'm taking you on the road.
Yeah.
awesome. Funky, let's get started. Go ahead with your questions.
All right. So I'm gonna take you to the very beginning. So tell us, how did everything start? Did you grow up in a musical family?
So, yes, actually, my father is a phenomenal vocalist. He played piano, and before he lost his right arm, which was the year before I was born, he also played guitar. Um, yeah, so I grew up with a father that was very talented as a musician. Now, he never played music out. We were a very religious family. We actually didn't
Hmm.
have radio or TV. So I grew up playing hymns, and that's how I got started playing hymns in church. And
Wow.
yeah, very classical upbringing as well. I studied voice and piano in high school and taught myself to read notes and then became a concert pianist. So that's kind of where I started. I never imagined being a country or a rock and roll singer. I honestly
Yeah.
didn't really know what those things were until I got to college. So yeah, that was kind of my
True.
upbringing. But I always loved music. I started playing piano when I was 4. So
Wow.
yeah, it was wonderful for me growing up.
That's a good
Awesome.
start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. And on stage now, even your daughter joins you while you're on stage performing. Does that give you a glimpse of your own childhood when you see her?
Well, we're so different because I was so quiet and meek. Like I had the worst stage fright. Honestly, until about a few
Aha.
years ago, I was terrified. Um,
My
so,
God.
so with her, I really wanted to instill this confidence, and she is fearless. She loves music already. She's 3 years old, and
Wow.
her name is Phoenix Ray Ann. She has a rock star name already, and she gets on stage with me sometimes, and just she knows the words and she knows all my moves. So she's up there doing her own thing, and she takes over. She's a star in her own right.
Oh,
Ah,
that's amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah. And
Really
so
cool.
talking about performing and concerts, where and how was your first real concert?
Oh gosh, my first real concert. Well, going back, and it would have to be, middle school and high school, where we
Mm-hmm.
actually had a massive music program. So I was able to compete at the state level to
Hmm.
sing. I was very much into opera. So, Mars Hill, which is a college in North Carolina, I got to be part of the honors chorus every year. So we would do big shows there. And thousands
Wow.
of people came. So that's where I started. And like I said, I was very much into opera and competing
Mm-hmm.
and that type of thing. But I didn't play, in a band until, gosh, about 6 or 7 years ago. I did a little duo in town. Just thought I would get out and play some music, and as therapy. I've had Lyme disease, so I was really sick, and um,
Hmm.
and then I started writing, and then I don't know, Diamonds and Whiskey. I formed that about 4 years ago, and just hammered and kept, working hard at it. And next thing I know, we're playing on big festival stages, and I've got a second album coming out, and I don't know how to
Right.
quit. So when I
Yeah.
get going, I just get going. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Rocking the stage. And that somehow brings me to your mother and the song Hero.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, what's the story behind it? Please tell us.
Yeah, well, I've been sick since I was a child. When I was 12, I started getting really high fevers and a lot of stomach problems, and then by the time I was 18, I had severe arthritis. But it took until I was 25 to figure out that I had Lyme disease, and I was
Mhm.
very debilitated at that point, losing the use of my legs. I was blind and deaf on my right side, and my memory and cognitive issues were so great that I had it was pretty rough. I was in a deep depression, and I mean, we thought I was dying. We didn't know what was wrong with me.
My God.
And my mother um, kept taking me to doctors and pushing and trying to help me get better. And when I wanted to give up, she didn't. And I was pushing her away because I felt like a burden, and I never want to be a burden on anyone. And
True.
yeah, so I wrote that song in the depths of despair. I was pretty determined that I wasn't going to make it and she wouldn't give up. And I kept saying, you can't save me. And that's how I felt. Like no one, 32 doctors, no one knew what was wrong with me. And she would
True.
not give up. And even when we found out, finally, a doctor found that I had Lyme disease, she kept making me go to the doctors. I've had 6 ports. I've went through IV therapy for years. Lost my
My God.
hair. I've been through so much with this disease. She really saw me through that. So that song I wrote for her, and she really became my hero. Even if I tried to, tell her that I wanted her to have a better life than taking care of me. So it was, yeah, that one's a pretty deep one
Gosh.
for me.
Yeah, mothers are everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So true. And the reason why I asked you to share it is because this is such an inspiring story for every one of us. And never quit. That's one of the things. And And now you're here playing stages and big stages, arenas. So it's awesome, really awesome. And
Yeah.
may you continue to do so. Yes,
Yeah, but there are heroes all around us, even if we don't feel like there are people in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
There really are people out there that will help you, perfect strangers. And that's my message to people. There are good people in this world. Don't lose faith or don't lose
okay,
sight of that.
absolutely. And then you kept on walking hard, and then walk hard happened.
Yeah, yeah. I firmly believe in keeping on, with everything, and walk hard is such it's about not bringing baggage from a person or a previous relationship into a new one, but it's also
Right.
just about walking hard in life. And I believe in that. If you're going to do something, you got to go do it. You got to put everything into it. So the music to me speaks to that because it's really more like an anthem, like a rock song.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, it is, and it's a phenomenal song. And everybody do check out Walk Hard as it is now available everywhere, Spotify, iTunes, wherever. You are just gonna love it.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go
So,
ahead, Funky.
yeah, I'm gonna take you back to concerts again. What's your favorite concert venue that you performed at?
Oh gosh. So I got to tell you, this past summer we had an amazing tour and we played all over the country. And little did I know that in North Dakota, which I had never played in before, I would find the most amazing people. And we played, I think, 3 or 4 gigs at different fairs there. But North Dakota Fest, it's a North Dakota Country Fest, actually, is what it is. And it was the most amazing place I've ever been. Most amazing people. We've never had people be kinder. Oh, you have a picture.
I do.
They that festival. We played that night. Little Texas played after us, and
Wow.
they treated us like stars. They were. I just can't say enough about these people. I'm still friends with them. I'm normally, when I leave a festival, don't feel that close to people, but those were
Sure.
amazing people, and it was the people that made me love the venue. And the place was incredible, don't get me wrong. It was out in the middle of nowhere and beautiful scenery. I just can't say enough about it, but it was definitely the highlight of our tour. And if I get a shout out to North Dakota Fest, I'm telling you, those people right there, they go all out for everybody there, including the fans and the bands. So thank you to them. But yeah, y'all got to check that festival out.
Absolutely. It's really awesome. It's really awesome. And uh, Backcountry Voodoo, that is one of the songs from the new album, the upcoming album, and
Mm-hmm.
very cool song and a fantastic music video as well. What do you want to tell us about Backcountry Voodoo and following Blonde Ambition?
Yeah, Backcountry Voodoo. We decided to release the single first, not because I think it's
Okay,
the best song on the record. I just thought it really spoke to our sound as a band. It's very different, swampy groove. I don't know. It's a
sure.
different type of sound, and I love it. And the song, though, the lyrics are some truth there mixed with some fantasy. So I wrote this song after I went and
Mm-hmm.
saw a tarot card reader, and after getting my heart broken, and I thought, man, what if I could cast a spell on a man to make him fall madly in love with me just so I could break his heart? And I mean, as a woman, wouldn't we all love to kind of get back at somebody? And I know that that's not the right mentality. Of course, in real life, I turn the cheek, but I mean, it's a lot of truth mixed with a little fantasy. That's what I say. So that's how that came about. I left there. I wrote that song in about 2 minutes flat. The words just
Oh,
came
damn.
pouring out of me, and then the video. We went to Nashville, shot with Lexi Burke. Lexi, she was just on the Ellen show, I think, a couple days ago. She's super famous now, and she did that video. She did our Devil Went Down to Georgia video.
Yeah.
So proud to have her do those. Yeah, it's a cool video that tells the story just about going to see a kind of a gypsy lady out in the woods
Mm-hmm.
and casted a spell on a boy. And yeah, I thought that was a really fun song to come out with first. So we love Backcountry Voodoo. It's doing really well. It's actually just now really
Yeah.
starting to get a lot of streams and take off. So really proud of that.
Totally, totally. It's very, very cool music video, and it's a fun music video,
I think
Yeah.
and
so.
it's amazing. No, even we think so. It's really awesome. And okay, so tell me what do you enjoy most of being an artist?
I hands down the thing I enjoy the most is connecting with people. I connecting with our
Uh-huh.
fans. When I get messages telling people or telling me that I inspire people, or that I've changed their lives, or they love one of my songs, or that they went through something similar. That's really
All right.
everything to me. I've had Lyme disease and cancer, and uh, multiple surgeries. I've had two preemie babies. My son had a trach till he was 10. I've
Mm-hmm.
been through a lot, and I was always afraid to tell my stories. And I'm learning now that that's how we connect to people. And I never saw myself as inspiring, so I always looked at other people, and then I thought, well, gosh, if I could inspire people, that would be amazing. Maybe I can help someone. And
True.
that's really what this means to me more than anything.
Very
You
much
really
so.
are inspiring, trust me.
Oh gosh, thank you. I don't feel that way, but if one person feels inspired to
You
get up,
are.
then oh, thank you. That means the world to me.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
So I had a question. I mean, we had a question from the audience that is sort of connected to Backcountry Voodoo music video. So our friend Kathy Grant wants to know: do you celebrate Halloween, and do you believe in ghosts, and have you ever seen one?
Oh, good question. I actually do celebrate Halloween. I love Halloween. It is my favorite holiday. I get to dress up on stage now and wear crazy makeup, which I
Yeah.
very much enjoy. But Halloween to me is getting to be something different for a day,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing everyone else is something different, which is amazing. I, I mean, yes, I do believe in ghosts. I can't say that I know that I've ever seen one. We've shot in a lot of spooky places. Like you say, if you go back and watch our Devil Went Down to Georgia video, you'll see some of that. And we went all out with the crazy makeup and the ghostly feel. But yeah, I do believe in ghosts, and I'm very skittish and afraid of my own shadow. So, um, so yeah, but Halloween's coming up, and I can't wait. Usually, I dress up as a superhero with my kids. I'm a big comic book fan,
Mm-hmm.
so that's not very scary, I know. But my kids are named after superheroes. My son's middle name is Logan, after Wolverine, and my daughter
Yeah.
is Phoenix, after the Phoenix. And so that's kind of our thing, and I've always dressed up with them as a superhero typically.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but we'll see. This year we might go scary. We'll see what happens. I just don't need to look in the mirror because I'll probably scare myself.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Mhm. And that leads me to the question, um, if you could share some funny or scary stories on or off stage.
Oh gosh. Oh man, we've done so much crazy stuff on tour. I'm trying to think back. I haven't, because of COVID, we didn't have any shows last year. So really, this year is the only time I've got to draw from. And
Mm-hmm.
as far as scary goes, I would say the weather has scared us more than anything. But I know that
So
sounds
true.
crazy, but when we were out this year out west, I think we were in Wisconsin, it flooded, and I mean,
My
like,
God.
really flooded. And it was terrifying for us. The storms were insane. And my fiddle player has never seen like a thunderstorm. She's in California. She's from California.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
she's like staying up all night videoing it, because out there they don't have that kind of lightning and thunderstorm that we have. And
True.
yeah, but one of my bandmates drove to get pizza one night, and the water was up over the wheel. It was just crazy. And I remember us all just being terrified. Just because you know how weather can get. Being from North Carolina, we
Oh
see
yeah.
a lot of flooding, but this was insane. But that's probably the scariest thing we had happen on tour. Yeah, I'm so skittish. I mean, guys can walk around the corner, and I'll even know they're there, and I'll jump out of my skin. So I get scared all the time. But those are just normal things. funny ways though. My guys they're always joking and cutting up, and um,
Mm-hmm.
it's really hard to explain because we're always laughing. I've never been around a group of people that laugh more than these do. And there's six of us, and we're all crammed in a Tahoe or into our rooms or whatever, and everyone's always making jokes and that sort of thing. So we
True.
I want to tell you some, but I don't want to my guys to get mad at me because I might embarrass them. So I
Aw.
gotta be really careful because we've had some embarrassing moments, and I'm like, I kind of want to tell some stories, but then I don't want to upset them at the same time. Not that I think they would be, but I might have to keep some of that private.
Okay, we respect that. That's okay.
Yeah. Thank you for asking,
Absolutely, we do.
though.
So, tell me, how do you go about writing a song? Do you have a melody in your head and then write the other music for it, or how does it go?
I don't have a process. I just did a big interview for American Songwriter and Mecca Music, in Nashville, and people ask this all the time. It's different for every song. Like I never sit
True.
down to write a song. I've never said, "Oh, I'm going to sit down and write today." And I know that's weird because I know a lot of artists that are really good at this. I am not. My songs all come from my emotions, and I'm trying to do better about it, but I'll get a feeling, and if I'm driving down the road, I sing into my phone, or I've got Eminem playing, and I'll start rapping over that, or I'll get mad about something, and it just comes out of my mouth. That's how Muddy Water happened. I
Yeah.
just I
True.
can't control it. I wish I could, and I know I need to get better at it. So I'm gonna try to work on it. But right now, it seems to be working for me. So sometimes I have a melody, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's just words to start with, and then I'll be humming a melody and think, oh, that fits. Or sometimes I'm playing my
True.
guitar or piano, and things just start coming out. It's I haven't worked with any other songwriters yet. A lot of people are asking
Hmm.
me. I'm gonna get to it. I just had so many songs on my own that have worked out well. But it's something I really want to branch into. But yeah, everything is a story for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. And just be who you are, that's what makes you unique, and that's what gives the sound to Diamonds and Whiskey as well, I guess. So that's truly awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And I want to ask, how do you balance between being a rock star and a mother as well? How do you maintain the balance between these two things?
Well, I don't sleep ever. I'm a vampire. No, no, I actually
Welcome
don't.
to the crew.
Yeah. And this is something I talk a lot about as a parent, and because I also have a full-time career as well. I and music has steadily started becoming my career, but I also have a day job. That's how I have funded this entire project myself.
Oh,
I
nice.
Yeah, I it's very difficult. My priority is my children first and foremost, always will be. Um,
True.
and sometimes that can make relationships suffer, though. If you're in a marriage or any sort of partnership,
Mm,
that's a very difficult thing. It is a hard thing to balance. It takes the right person that can handle that to be with you. Um, but yeah, it is
true.
difficult. Some days I wish I had really good advice. I really don't. People ask me this all the time, other than I don't sleep. Like, I spend a lot of time at night. If I get a couple hours or 3 hours, I feel
Hmm.
blessed to get that. And I run off of that every
Mm-hmm.
day, but I'm so driven to do it. I come home, I spend time with my kids after work, after shows. And then when they go to bed, I work, and I want it that bad
True.
though. And, I had a girl at Starbucks one time say, and I was kind of small town famous in the town. And she said, oh, I love to sing. I wish I could do what you're doing, but I have a daughter, and I was like, so do I,
Right.
and a son. And I'm like, if you want something bad enough, if you want it bad enough, you'll go get it. Like, that's the way I feel about it, and I
True.
want it that bad.
True.
So, and my fiddle player's the same way. She's a mom, and we're both moms, and we make it work, and make sure our kids don't
Wow.
suffer in the process of it. But also, we want to teach them that if you have dreams, go chase them. And we have daughters, you know, in particular, my daughter, like I, I don't want her to ever grow up and think, oh, I'm a girl, I can't do that. Like I want her to grow up knowing that she
Mm,
can be a mom, she can have a career, she can chase her dreams, she can do all of that, and we'll have a support system behind her.
Wise words, yeah.
so true. So true. You have wings, fly.
Oh, thank you. I love that photo.
Right. Okay, so this is a random question. Tell us what's your favorite color?
Oh, my favorite color is green. I love the color green. It's color of money, but
Same.
I I love green. It's so vibrant and everywhere. You know, the trees, the grass. I just love green.
Mm-hmm.
So true. And because I agree, because that's my favorite color as well.
Yeah, it's a great
Very
color.
much so. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you first started as a musician, what was something that was more challenging than you expected?
Yeah. So getting booked as an act was the most challenging thing for me. And if you've seen our
Hmm.
show, it's a pretty good show. I have to say, I'm not trying to. Well, I guess I am tooting our horn. It is a really good show, but as and I'm not saying it's men. This is not a man thing at all. Like actually,
Sure.
I think we as women have to take responsibility for this. But as a female country act, it's actually pretty hard to get booked at venues, at bigger venues, because we don't sell as many tickets, you know.
Hmm.
And I've heard that a lot, and I understand it. You know, I get that. Like it's more entertaining sometimes, but women are the ones that typically go to shows. They buy tickets. Guys go to meet girls. You know how this works. Um,
True.
so I always say to women, like we have to support each other, and I think that's a lot of times where the problem is. We have to support each other. There can't be jealousy and envy and all that stuff. So
Right.
I've got a lot of female artists now that we've banded together and really tried to support each other, help each other, and I think that's so important. But booking is very difficult, and we really had to go prove ourselves. We had to play for free for the first year. I'd play any festival we could get on just to show what we
Mm-hmm.
could do. And as soon as people saw, then we started getting booked. But it took a lot of money and a lot of
Right.
time to really prove
I'm sure.
ourselves. Yeah. So I
You're
was
right.
I was determined to play original music and to not be stuck in the bar scene. We haven't.
Hmm.
I think we played maybe one bar in our whole, you know, like smaller bar, in our whole
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
career. And I'm not that there's anything wrong with that. You got to grind it out. But as a mom who needs to be home at night, I just didn't want to be out till 2 in the morning. So I was trying to find any way I
True.
could to get on festivals. And that's how we did it. We went, I paid the band, but we went and played for free. And I just worked my day job hard to take care of everything. And, yeah, we went and got on any
True.
festival we could get on. I begged, and now we don't have to do that. We get invited, which is great. But
Yeah.
it was very difficult to get started in that.
Mm-hmm. I bet.
True. Now, when you
Um,
look back on it, do you feel proud about it? This is what brought me here. So definitely.
I do. I'm very proud of that, and I'm honored by the musicians that play with me. They're all just insanely talented, and the fact that they want to be in this band or want to be a part of this. I mean, just so many people that have stepped up and wanted to be a part of Diamonds and Whiskey and help us get where we're going. I'm so proud of everything we've done, and we still go play for free. If it's a benefit where we can help people, we show up and play. We got asked to do another one today, and anytime we can donate our time to help,
True.
that's what we try to do. And that's my way of giving back. So yeah, I'm very proud of what we've accomplished.
Indeed,
yeah.
indeed.
And we're proud of
And
you as well. So yeah.
Thank you.
who can praise you guys better than us? The awards.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've done quite a bit in the past couple of years.
You know, uh, could you describe your feelings when the award is announced that, Diamonds and Whiskey Band of the Year? How does it feel?
Oh my gosh. Well, it wasn't that that was our very first award, and it was our first time being nominated. I was shocked,
Sure.
first of all, completely shocked, because we had only been a band a year at that point when we got nominated, and I was so surprised. And
Right.
and then to win. Well, I got up on stage and they handed me the award, and of course I'm kind of the face of the band. So the band was like, pushed me up to the mic, and I didn't realize that it was that hot. And I said, "Oh my gosh, I gotta pee," because I had had too much water. And
Yeah.
that was my first experience. The whole crowd heard it, of course, and erupted into laughter. And I learned my lesson about that. So one day when I'm accepting my CMA or Grammy award, I'll know not to say anything crazy. But I got I always say this: I'm great singing and performing. I am not good speaking. You do not want to put me on a mic talking about anything. So it was overwhelming though, an overwhelming feeling. And then we went from that to being nominated for 5 different CCMA awards, which is huge. The Carolina Country Music Awards are actually a really big deal regionally for North and South Carolina. A lot of big acts, and
Yeah.
so to win Single of the Year, to be nominated for Entertainer of the Year twice in a row as a female act, because we're the only female to be nominated. That was
Wow.
that's a huge deal for us. Yeah, so we're very
What
proud
a
of
proud
all of
moment.
that. Yeah, absolutely. It's great to be included in those awards. So yeah, I don't know. It's just overwhelming. I don't.
Yes,
It's like I don't deserve this, but we've worked really hard to get there.
Yeah, but you do. Yeah.
you definitely do.
Yeah. So, you mentioned how you haven't ever worked with any other songwriters. So tell me, who would you like to collaborate with, dead or alive?
Oh gosh. So Prince is my all-time, like, if I could bring him back to life, that would be my person I would love to work with. Obviously Dolly Parton. She's my
Oh,
idol,
wow.
like so many others. But yeah, Ray Fulcher. Actually, I'm a big fan. You know, he writes for Luke Combs. There's a lot of people I would love to write with. I mean, I'd give my left arm if I could write with Eminem. I there's a there. I'm all over the place. Rob Thomas, Matchbox 20, my favorite band of all time. I think Rob Thomas is one of the best songwriters to ever live. So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place with rock and roll,
Right.
all the way to rap to country. I think lyricists in particular, just I don't know. It's
Mm-hmm.
incredible how people craft songs like that together. So I'm just inspired by all of them, and would love the chance to write with any of those people.
That's
Very
awesome.
much so. If Jennifer gets a chance, she could be the rap goddess.
Maybe so. You might hear some rap soon. You never know what's coming on the record.
So
Country
cool.
rap.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so the songs from Heartbreak Queen also happen to be the first songs that you've ever written. Is that true?
Yes, that is true. The first 10 songs I ever wrote. And I chose them, because of that, but they were stories from my life. And, Heartbreak
Right.
Queen is a really fun song about being a kind of a player as a woman, about traveling from wherever and doing what you want to do, because men aren't the only ones that get to do that. So it's my way of being a badass and saying, hey, girls,
Okay,
do
I'm
what you
out of
want.
here. See you.
Yeah, but really the Heartbreak Queen was a play on words. Queen of is she the queen of heartbreak? How many times has her heart been broken, or is she a heartbreaker? So
True.
it's a play on words, and also a nod to Charlotte, because it's the Queen City. That's what we call it. So Heartbreak Queen had a lot of meaning to me, and I love that
Right.
record. My band played on that record. It's not overly produced. It's very raw. It's the first time I ever recorded. So yeah, that record means a lot to me.
So cool. Yeah, indeed a great record, first of all. And not only that, it reached even, Muddy Water and Sugar Stick. These songs are pretty awesome and they've made it to charts as well. So that's really cool about it. Cool thing about it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And
Okay,
what would
go
you
ahead, go ahead.
say is the highlight of your career?
Oh gosh, the highlight in my career. Um, we've had so many great moments, and the highlight in my career. So my guitarist, I have two guitarists, a lead guitarist and a rhythm guitarist, Logan and Brandon, are just amazing people. And I'm going to tell you the story really quick, but they're incredible, and they took our gear everywhere this summer for us, drove it all over the place, and
Wow.
I getting to bring them to North Dakota Fest and to Carolina Country, the big ones, Carolina Country Music Fest, standing on big stages, and watching them play, in particular at North Dakota Fest, because it was massive stage. You're playing with majors, and knowing that it was the first time they gotten to do that, and seeing their reaction,
Mm-hmm.
to me, that's the highlight.
Mind
I mean, it makes me
blowing.
want to cry, but like I being able to work our butts off and to see my band get to experience that meant everything to me. I can't tell you. Watching Logan go down the catwalk and Brandon come down the catwalk and get to play with me in front of all those people, and seeing the happiness it brought them, that's the
Yeah.
highlight. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I'll never forget it as long
Truly,
as I live.
truly.
Yeah.
Man, that's quite an experience actually.
Yeah, it really is.
So, what draws you to your preferred genre? Country, or what is it that draws you to it?
I'm actually kind of a rocker through and through on the inside. Once I discovered rock and roll at 18, and I listened to Metallica and Heart and Led Zeppelin,
Ah,
like I was so drawn to rock and roll. But country, that's how I grew up as a person.
Mm-hmm.
It's who I am.
mm-hmm.
I didn't always speak this way. When I learned to sing opera, so I learned to enunciate. But I really sound like this. If I went home and talked with my family, this person would come out and it'd be right and tight, and my pants would be pulled up, like that would be my actual accent. And that girl
Awesome.
is very much who I am, as a person. I love to fish. I like to work on cars. I grew up in a garage. I love to drive. My papa bootlegged when he was a kid, and so I very much have this whole country past, if you will. and
Mm-hmm.
um and to me, country songwriters and singers are the best storytellers, and I think that's why I fit in that genre. I'm a storyteller, and even though I walk outside of it with the rock and roll and the blues, um I'm still very much a country girl from the hills of North Carolina, so that's where I belong.
That's amazing. Um, so
Country
tell
on the
me,
inside, rock and roll on
yeah.
the outside.
Right.
So, what do you think has changed in music over the past few decades?
Oh, well, obviously the internet changed everything.
Mm-hmm.
Social media is so huge now. I it's just it really has made it possible for every artist to have some sort of fan base if they work hard at it.
Yeah, true.
There are good things and bad things about that. I think now it's much harder, because you're competing with
Hmm.
so much more. You're competing with everyone in the world because everyone has a
Yeah.
platform. So that makes it very difficult to stand out today. Individuality is so important, but when everyone is individual and standing out, it makes it hard for you to stand out, if that makes sense. So it's just kind of,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's changed a lot of things for musicians. Streaming now is huge, so selling your CDs and stuff on the shelf doesn't happen really anymore. um,
Sure.
at shows it does. We sell out, which is awesome, and
Yeah,
it helps us tremendously. But streaming, doesn't pay much. So now, to make
true.
True.
money as a musician, you got to get out and play and hustle to make money and to travel to gigs. This summer, we these gigs were booked 2 years ago, so they were booked at a much lower price point. So we didn't make money. In fact, I went in the hole, even though we were making a good bit at each show. The
Mm-hmm.
travel is so
Right.
expensive; it makes it so
Yeah.
hard for bands. So there's just
Oh yeah.
a lot now that's different. And so, yeah, it's changed tremendously. The music business is completely different from 20 years ago, or even 10 years ago. And you just
Yeah.
have to
Right.
adapt and roll with it, so,
Mm-hmm.
and figure out better ways to be individual, to stand out, and to connect with people. Connection is everything.
Yeah, true. So, do you prefer digital platforms or promoting your music with records, CDs, and such, or both?
Both. I like both. Live streaming has been a thorn in my side. I hate that. Just because I like to connect with the audience. When we play
Yeah.
a show, we don't just stand there. So when
Yeah.
I'm up there, I'm jumping
There's a
around,
personal
and
connect.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm looking at people in the eyes. I want to talk to you while I'm on stage. I want to connect with you. So live streaming and digital platforms are always difficult for me, but I'm working on it. I'm doing better about it and trying to do more videos and that sort of thing, because live is where we sell it. We're very good
Right.
at live shows. Online, telling more of my story, putting that out there is very hard for me, but I'm trying to do better about it and
Mm-hmm.
get to know people. And now people share their stories with me, and I'm inspired by them. And so, yeah, just working on it every day.
Yeah,
Okay.
indeed. And today you have a gig as well, and you're headed to there.
Yes, we have a gig again at the South Carolina State Fair on the Pepsi stage, and I'm super excited. That gig was a
Wow.
lot of fun last night, and we're from the Carolinas, so we're excited to see our fans there again. Yeah, it's going to
Right.
be a lot of fun. 6 p.m.
Awesome. Awesome. And so tell me, let's talk about Blonde Ambition for a bit. And what's it all about, the album, the upcoming album?
So, Blonde Ambition is another set of stories from my life. And I wanted to stay with the very feminine theme, like Heartbreak Queen. Blonde
Hmm.
Ambition is a nod to all the strong women that have inspired me. Um, Obviously, a nod to Dolly Parton, my mother, who is a natural blonde, and I am not a
Wow.
natural blonde, by the way, but my mother is, and I always wanted to be blonde growing up, and we weren't going to name the album this. I was actually going to name it Warrior, another song on our album, but
Ah,
after we thought about it, Blonde Ambition made a lot of sense to me. And because the thing that I preach the most about is being who you are. And I wear a lot of big makeup on my face. I mean, sometimes it's glitter out to here, and it's not your typical country girl makeup. I like to stand out, be a little crazier than normal. And my motto with that is love it or hate it, but you won't forget it. And
right.
that's what Blonde Ambition is to me. If you want to wear big blonde wigs or big makeup or red lipstick, or you do what you want to do, as long as you're not hurting anyone else. Be who you want to be. And that's what I say to everyone. Decide what you want to be and go do that. That's what Dolly Parton says. That's what I believe in. And I wrote this
Right.
song, Blonde Ambition, and it's got a little part about Dolly in there. And the the words are, I've been dreaming about being a modern day Dolly. No amount of praying to God's going to stop me. It's red on my lips, blush on my cheeks, Botox or bust, and veneers on my teeth. It's about being who you want
Wow.
to be. If you want to do Botox, if you want fake boobs, go get your boobs. If you whatever it is makes you happy, don't let judgmental people bring you down. And I think that would be Dolly's message, and it is to everybody. And she was shamed a lot by interviewers. I've
Mm-hmm.
watched a lot of her
Mm.
interviews, and she's like, I let my talent speak for itself. And yeah,
Yeah.
I want to carry that message on because I think it's the most important thing. Be who you want to be, as long as you're not hurting someone else, and every day try to be a light, and whatever that is to you, you do that. So that's what Blonde Ambition means to me.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, thank you,
Wise
everyone.
words.
This is the end
Yeah.
of the voice pitch. No, because that is so profound. My gosh. I feel like I have no other question, or I shouldn't ask any other questions, but of course, we'll go ahead. But
You're fine. Go ahead.
gosh,
um,
no, truly awesome, truly awesome.
yeah, well,
And are
I
you
I
doing?
wanted, yeah,
Go
go
ahead,
on.
go ahead, go ahead.
Well, I actually wanted to ask you if you could share some words of wisdom with us, but you've been sharing it then, the whole episode, so there's nothing more to ask.
I know more than anything, and I know I probably said this already, but it's really important to us is that no matter what you go through in life, you're not alone.
Right.
And I say this all the time. I just did a pretty big podcast here in Charlotte on the Ace and TJ show, and I shared my story, and I've written a song called Shuffle Down the Line that's coming out on this record. And it's about how we all share pain, even if they're different kinds of pain.
Right.
Pain is our connecting theme. If you think about it, it's why we relate to music so much. There's a song that helps you get through something. Well,
Hmm.
you're not alone. No matter what it is you're going through, even if you don't have a friend in the world, trust me, you're not alone. And I so want to tell people that, especially, when you think about our veterans, 22 a day committing suicide, the suicide rate being so high for so many reasons, for so many people, you're not alone, and I know I've been there and had thoughts, and that when I was so sick, I mean, and in so much pain, I didn't want to live anymore.
Yeah,
I can say that freely and openly. And, I want people to know that you can get through anything. And I think that's the message I'd like to send everybody home with. No matter what it is, you can get through it. I promise you. So yeah, if I could share that, that's what I want to share.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
And
thank you for sharing.
I don't want to, take you back to those days, but how did you find motivation in the hardest of your times? And even today, if you're having a bad day, how do you fix it?
Well, I never have to look very far to see people that have struggled with things in their lives. And I look at other people. My son, for example, I was 20 when I had him. He was one
Hmm.
pound. He's had so many surgeries, I can't even count. This boy has
Oh man.
never complained a day in his life. Was trached when he was 5.5 months old. Came home and had that trach until he was 10. And he is the most inspiring person. I grew up with a father that was an amputee who worked every day of his life. My mother, my parents divorced when I was very young, but my mother sustained an abusive relationship after that and got through that somehow. And I see so many people, and I look to others to be inspired, and they don't have to be perfect. None of us are perfect. I see this all the time. People see people that are big or that do inspiring things, and they'll find one little thing a mistake they've made in their life, and all of a sudden that makes them not great. That's not true.
Hmm.
That there are so
True.
many people that have been through so much. We're all human. We're all going to make mistakes, but that doesn't mean that the things that they've done that have impacted other people aren't significant. So to me, I just look at others, and I
But
think they got through that, so I can get through this. And I think if everyone, could find one person, even if they don't know them, I look at famous people and I'm like, gosh, how did that person get through that? I can get through
right.
this, so that's what I do. So I would hope other people would look around them, step outside your own world for a minute and say, wow, wow, there are inspiring people in the world.
Indeed. I feel
Yeah,
so too about you right now. So
same,
Well,
same.
thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I don't see that in myself, but I hope to be that kind of person. I really do.
Well, you really are.
yeah.
So, yeah. Um, so
Oh,
tell me.
by the way, I want to ask, when is Blonde Ambition gonna be released?
Oh, yes.
So we are looking at the beginning of the year. We were going to release it this year, but we're going to, well, the song itself is going to be out, I think, in the next 6 to 8 weeks. So you can look for the
Oh
song Blonde
wow.
Ambition. The whole album, though, will be dropping at the beginning of the year. Um, I'm really excited about this. Eddie Z out of Charlotte produced this. He's recorded over 30 Grammy winners. He is absolutely amazing. So he produced this record. It's mixed by Kirk Kelsey, Dale Penner, Mark Williams, Drew Cypher. It's got a lot of mixers on there. Kirk Kelsey's done most of it. He's the front of house mixer for
Wow.
Keith Urban. Just a lot of big people came in and played on this record. A lot of pros. I'm very grateful for them. You haven't heard
Right.
anything yet. You just wait. It's an incredible album, and I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, we're really
There you go,
excited to hear
people.
it.
Watch out for Blonde Ambition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, is there gonna be music video for it? For some songs from it.
Oh yeah, we're planning the wall card video now. That's going to happen shortly, and then after we release Blonde Ambition, we'll probably drop the wall card video, and then when we release the record, we'll probably drop the Blonde Ambition video. So, kind of staggering
Wow.
content. But yeah, we're working hard behind the scenes to get everything done. I usually take the winter and spend that on music and showcasing and getting ready for a tour the next year. So we'll be dropping a lot of music over the winter months.
Many things in the pipeline.
Oh yeah, I'm always working. Yeah.
So cool. So cool. Okay, so may you tell us three of your values or principles that you think have brought you this far in your career and life, and you wouldn't change them for anyone or anything?
Absolutely. The most important one to me is treat others the way you'd like to be treated. And I think that that is the most simple thing, the golden rule, of course. And if you lived by this, if we all live by that, think about how the world would be. It would be a much better place. So, if you, and let me
Golden
tell you
place.
something very quick, you should treat others the way you want to be treated without expecting them to treat you the same. And that's something my grandfather told me years ago. You don't always get the same treatment in return, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't give it. And this is most often the case. Think about that. Like, you
Yeah.
don't always get treated the way you want to be treated. But if you individually went out every day and treated everyone the way you'd like to be treated, that would speak to people. And that's what I want to do. So that's my number one principle. Number two is never take anything for granted, ever. Every little thing is a blessing. Everything is a blessing.
Wow.
Even if a door slams in my face, and they have, trust me, they're all blessings. And
Yeah.
so you should never take anything for granted. And the third one goes along with that one. And I do live by these. These are and it took me years to learn to live by them. So this is not like I've spent my whole life being a great person. I don't claim that, but I really try now to live this way. Time is borrowed. Another thing that my grandfather always said to me, time on earth is borrowed. We only have this one life. And so you got to live that to
Yeah.
the fullest. And what he meant by that is be the kindest person you could possibly be. Your legacy is what you leave behind. You can't take money with you. And
True.
time is the most important thing, not money. And so I don't do this because I want to go make money. In fact, if I did, I'd be screwed. I shouldn't be doing it at all. But I do it because I love it. And I
Right.
sincerely want to inspire people. So that's what I want to do. And those are the three principles that I really try to live by every day.
Golden rules of Jennifer Lauren.
True.
Truly
So
amazing. Truly
I have
profound.
I have one last question, and that
Sure. Go
is,
ahead.
what is something not many people know about you, but you think they should?
Not many people know about me. Can this be a funny thing? Because I've said a lot of serious stuff. But it's true. It is a very true thing. And I think you should know
Yeah.
this if you're going to be around me. I have a legitimate fear, and I do mean it's very real for me. I have a very big fear of feet. So if you're going to be around me, I cannot do flip-flops. Don't wear sandals. Like, I need you to put socks on or shoes on all the time. And I am very serious about this. I know it sounds crazy, but like, I cannot
It
look
doesn't.
down. I don't even like my own feet. Like, we talk about this in the band because I'm like, guys, everyone has to keep shoes or socks on. If we're going on the bus or whatever we're doing, don't come near me without your shoes or socks on. Like,
They
I feel
I
you.
I know that that's really weird, but it is like a legitimate fear. I want people to know it's real. So I can't
if
overcome it.
if you wanna be near me, stay 6 feet apart.
Yeah. I when my best friend and she's been staying with me and helping me with Phoenix some, and I have to tell her, I'm like, just don't bring your bare feet around me. I just have to look up the whole time. And she has pretty feet. It has nothing to do with that. I just don't like feet. So there you go.
Yeah, feet in general. It doesn't
Yes.
sound weird. I can relate to you, so it's good to know. It's good to know.
Well, one day I'll put it on our
I
rider
love
when we
it.
go to shows. I'll make sure people know. Don't come near me with your feet.
Or maybe write a song about, hating feet or something.
I might do that, actually. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. So yeah. Awesome. Again, random question. What is the last thing that you search on Google?
Last thing that I searched on Google.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I guess I better answer this honestly, right? Well,
That's the point.
the last thing I searched for on Google was tips for arrows for my crossbow. I was looking for.
Gosh.
I know, that's the truth though. I was literally today, I just bought new crossbow arrows, and because I like to shoot at targets, in the backyard. And they so I was looking at some of these funky, like, glow in the dark looking tips. So I know that's boring, but that's the last thing I searched for on Google.
No, that's actually interesting. So yeah.
If two or three people go down today, you
You
know
never
it
know.
was.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. I know people are anti-firearms and that sort of thing, and that's cool and all. But someone did try to break in my
Just
house
kidding. Yeah.
once, and someone did try to break in my house once, and I was glad that I had protection because I'm a female. And what was I gonna do? Hit them? So
Yeah.
so yeah, I grew up in the country, and that's who we are.
If you ever break into Jennifer's house, please keep your feet covered.
Yeah. Yes, that would be a wise decision.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so what's your favorite cuisine or dishes that you like to
Oh,
eat?
I'm a big sushi fan. I love sushi. And
Wow,
tuna in particular, salmon. I love seafood. Seafood is my favorite go-to. Anything seafood, really. I just love it. I don't get enough of it because I don't live near the ocean, obviously. But yeah, seafood's my favorite. And I would eat sushi
yeah,
all the time if I could.
wow, awesome.
Yeah. And so going back to the story when someone broke into your house, we have a question from the comments from Adam D. He's asking, was the intruder barefoot?
That's gonna be a thing. Well, from what I could see, he was not. He was arrested, and he. So I had a glass porch on the back of the house, and he did get through that and to the back door. By then, of course, I was already armed and ready because my child was at home, and I would never let my
Right.
something happen to my child. But yeah, I didn't get to see his feet. I did see the body, but I didn't see the feet. So I'm probably lucky though. He'd probably be missing a pinky toe if that was the case at this point.
True.
Yeah, you would shoot at his feet for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so funny.
He must be like, she's got the crossbow and I'm the one getting arrested. So,
Exactly.
kidding, folks. Okay, okay. Um, since you're saying people's question, Funky, we got another people's question from Anders. You want to read it?
Yeah, of course. So,
Go ahead.
Anders Lindholm wants to know, have you ever lost a piece of gear or an instrument that you regret losing?
Oh yeah, this has happened. Yeah, I actually my let's see, I think it was the first or second gig I ever played was in at the Nick. It's called the Nick Rocks. It's in Birmingham, Alabama, and
Hmm.
super famous little venue. Great place to play. Anyway, I left my piano there, my electric piano. They still have it actually, and I just have not.
Whoa.
I haven't been back to get it. It's a great place, but yeah, we just walked out and we were all exhausted and didn't load the gear up. Learned a very valuable lesson there on losing gear. So definitely
I
that
bet.
stunk. Yeah, and then we've had gear damaged. We had a bass damaged at North Dakota Fest. It was an accident, but things happen. It's you can't really control everything when you're on stage for sure. And it's one of those things that I'm also a big proponent of. Don't sweat the small stuff. And that's not small stuff, but at the same time
Right,
it is. When you've been through a lot in your life, you don't worry so much with material things that can generally be replaced. It sucks for sure, but
right.
it is what it is. So yeah, it stinks. Thanks for asking though.
Indeed. There you are, Anders. And before we leave or sign off, one person we need to give a shout out to is Paige Gregory, who's
Of
there with
course.
us. So a
Yes.
huge shout out to Paige.
Yeah,
She's
Paige is
fantastic.
amazing. This girl works her fanny off. She was first person to promote Diamonds and Whiskey. Is still with us today. She is I can't say enough about her. She was just starting up when we first met, and now she has grown and doing so many big things and is doing so much for us and other musicians. I'm so proud of her. Nowadays, hustle is everything. If you got a good work ethic, I mean, not even just nowadays, always, you can make a lot
Right.
happen in with a strong work ethic. And that girl right there, she's out of this world. She's amazing. Thank you, Paige. We appreciate you.
Yeah,
We
she's
surely do.
amazing.
And before we sign off, how can our listeners or viewers connect with you?
I hope so. Yeah, Facebook, Instagram. I still try to answer every message and every comment that I can. Sometimes it takes me a little time because we get overwhelmed with them, but go find
Right,
us, send us a message. If it's not me, they will get you in touch with me if you've got questions or anything I can do for you. I love to communicate with our fans individually. Like to hear their
right.
stories. So if you have something to share, share it with us.
Absolutely. We got your socials here. So on Facebook, you want to search for Diamonds and Whiskey. On Instagram, it's Diamonds and Whiskey Official. And on Twitter, it is Diamonds Whiskey. And obviously, visit the website diamondsandwhiskeyband.com for
Yes.
anything you want to search for about the band. And thank you so much for joining us today on the VoiceIt show. It's been truly lovely. And we wish you all the best with your show today. Hope it's a killer just as yesterday.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys for having me. I have so enjoyed this. I'm sorry for being in the car. Thank you for being understanding. But we'll have to
No,
do
not
this
it.
again
Sure.
sometime.
We
Of course,
surely
yeah.
do too. And you shout out to your hand as well, who has been holding the
Yeah.
phone for
Yes,
so long.
it's cramping.
Yeah.
Please rest it for some time and then you have to go on your way as well. So have a safe drive and have a rocking show today. And
Yeah.
thank you for joining us once again. And
Thank
people,
you.
watch out for Blonde Ambition, which would be releasing soon. And also, for now, go check out Walk Hard. It's available on your favorite music streaming platform. So go ahead and do follow Diamonds and Whiskey on Facebook, Instagram, and all their socials. And we want to thank you, Jennifer, for joining us today. Thank you so much. It's been lovely.
Thank you guys. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much. And see you guys next time with another fun guest and maybe a part two with Jennifer as well.
Yeah.
So see you guys and have a great
Ciao for
time. Ciao
now.
for now.
Bye for now.